4. Don't go left. Don't go left. I don't know the Spanish word for left.
The Tenerife podcast.
Tenerife, adelante, tu coraje y tu valor no conoce rival. Tenerife, Tenerife, adelante sin temor a la meta final.
Good afternoon, welcome down to another episode of that Tenerife podcast. Special guest, Vicky, today.
Hey.
Vicky, where are we today?
MHT, Vivo.
Is it called MHT or is it called Vivo? Is it called Vivo? Is it called MHT?
MHT is the drag show.
MHT, Vivo, the drag show. That's where we are today. That's where you're going to find us. Vicky, you're working down here?
I am. I'm in all the shows at the moment.
You're in all the shows?
I am. I'm in Legends, Spice Girls, everything.
You're doing a lot?
Yeah,
Ah.
stars, everything.
Very good. You don't look like a man, Vicky.
I'm not. I'm a real
You're
woman.
not. Oh, you're real?
Yeah.
All right. Sorry about that. Yes, today we are down at Vivo MHT. We are going to be having a chat today with the owner. We're looking to have a chat with the owner, Paul, and also with Joel. And what's Joel's role description classed as? He's the technical. Or?
Oh, I was just going to say drag.
Oh, he's the drag. We're going to have a chat with the drag with Joel as well down there. This is most probably going to be our 4th or 5th podcast at the moment. So thank you very much if you guys have been looking at the previous ones, all on YouTube. We've got a lot to get through today. Loads of things to talk about, so please stick with us and we'll see what the day's going to bring. Not the best of weather today, not the best to be honest with you. Tenerife once again is broken, but people are enjoying themselves out on the mini golf. How many holes have we got here on the mini golf?
Far too many.
Far too
There's
many.
so much fun here, honestly. You need to come down. It's amazing.
It's good fun. I'm looking at a bus. I'm looking pirates everywhere. And it's it's certainly a good place to be down in Las Americas. So stick with us, and we'll look forward to it and see how we get on with it from there. So Vivo through the day, MHT at night, MHT drag show. That's what we're here for down in Las Americas, just opposite the Veronicas. That's where you'll find us this afternoon. It's a Tuesday afternoon. It's coming to the end of September, so the weather's getting a little bit changeable. Hence the reason why the sky isn't looking as blue as it normally does. However, the golf course is all ready. Apparently, it's 2 lots of 18 holes mini golf. That's what we've got down here. Normally, the place is absolutely chocker, but obviously we're still with the quarantine rules back in the UK. And due to those quarantine rules, it's a lot quieter at the moment. But this is the reason why I decided I wanted to come down here and have a chat with the owner of the MHT Vivo and some of his work colleagues, is because these guys seem to be also the type of people that are quick out the blocks, that have been really quick out the blocks, most probably from about August onwards, really, to actually try and grasp something out of the situation that we're in, to try and generate some form of income, some form of entertainment, some form of community spirit amongst all the entertainers as well. And that's what they've decided to do with the invention of what they called their Live Act Fest, which we're going to be talking to Joel and Paul about today. It's really been something of a revelation to see how people on the island have decided to try and reinvent themselves, or companies have just had to try to diversify to keep the survival going of a business, of their company, their brand, their name. Because MHT is actually not just based in Tenerife, but it's based all over. There's another one in the Canary Islands as well, I think on Gran Canaria, which we'll find out again later on. We are in a live pub. We are still in a live bar. We always choose to live locations. The reason being because we can't afford a studio, but also because the sound of the bar behind us and the sound of the people is always nice to have that little bit of atmosphere as well. So stick with us. We will, couple of minutes, we'll get Paul and Joel in, and we'll have a conversation. We'll see what the crack is and see what they've been up to in the last few months. Also where it all started from, how it started, how COVID's affected them, and also where I think they're going to go from there on in. Right, so once again, thank you very much for coming back to us and joining us on that Tenerife podcast. I am joined by the owner of MHT Vivo, Mr. Paul Carroll, and also by Joel. Joel, what's your title down here?
Everything.
Everything. Thank you very much for joining us, guys.
He's our stage manager at the
Is the stage manager? Is that what we're doing?
Today.
Is that the badge, stage manager badge we've got today?
Today, yeah.
No, it's absolutely fantastic you come and join us, that you're joining me today. And the reason why I wanted to have a chat with you guys is basically with what you've been doing over the last few months but also more importantly, what you're going to be doing over the next few months as well. So it's, you know, it's literally, COVID's happened, 2020's happened, and I've just speaking beforehand, before you guys sat down, about how businesses have actually, you know, some have been affected, some have just decided to try and diversify. And that's what I feel that you guys have tried to do as well, is the diversification of your business, more importantly, to see how it's then producing for the future, really, more than anything else. I've got loads to talk to you about, because there's loads of stuff I need to know, and I want to know. Before we do that, you've heard some of our podcasts before, haven't you?
Yeah,
have you heard them, Paul?
Yeah,
Seriously?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Well, you know I do a bit of stalking.
Oh, good Lord.
Yeah, You're not allowed to look at the screen here, guys, because for you, definitely Paul, because you're going to come. Actually, Paul, I'm going to do you first.
Oh,
Don't you
God.
look. Don't you look. Paul, owner and performer at MHT. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Miss-
Owner and performer, I like that.
Mrs. T?
Yeah.
Is that Mrs. T?
Yeah,
We're going to talk about that, how it happened. You have 772 followers on Instagram. You're following 267 people. You're a bit quiet on Facebook. I tried to follow you on Instagram. I've requested, but you've got a private account, so I'm waiting to be accepted. So I couldn't really find a lot about you when I was actually trying to stalk you, because that's what we try to do down here.
That's my personal Instagram, isn't it?
Yeah.
But we've got the MHT.
No, I'm after your personal stuff, Paul. That's what I want. That's what I want.
Okay.
I had the Mac Master and I got his home address and everything. He really spooked him. I spooked him out. Yeah. You visited the Grand Theatre in Blackpool in 2013.
Yeah.
What did you see?
Well, I didn't just visit it.
Yeah.
We performed there. That was our first ever theatre show.
That was your first ever theatre show?
Ever. And it was on the 28th of September, I think it was.
Really?
What day is it today?
Today's the 29th.
Oh, I think it was the 29th. No, I think it was the 29th.
It was the 29th.
How weird's that?
Is it?
It was our first. There's a picture actually of me that popped up on my memories. I think it was yesterday.
I'll find it.
It was,
Bring yourself a bit closer, just so we can hear a little bit more on that mic, Paul. So from there, that was the Blackpool one.
That was the Blackpool show. That was the first ever theatre show we ever did in the UK.
Fantastic, absolutely brilliant. I'm definitely going to look for that. Don't you
Yeah.
look, you. I'm keeping you away. You like Coronation Street?
I do like Coronation Street.
You like Celebrity Big Brother 2013 for some reason as well, because that's on you. Yeah,
Really?
yeah, it is.
I
Yeah.
don't know why.
Were you bored?
Yeah.
RuPaul's Drag Race.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now this is. Guys, I'll just let you know, I am coming through a divorce. I've got two kids in my family. Two girls, funnily enough, and I got introduced to RuPaul about 2-3 months ago when my daughter came over, my 19-year-old. She came over, and she came over for the summer for 6 weeks, and every single show was sachet away. Is that what it is? Sachet away. What is this? Opened up a new world to me. I knew nothing about this. Because she's really into the makeup side of it as well. So all the makeup stuff was absolutely amazing from there.
I wasn't. To be honest, to start with, I wasn't really a fan of the show when I watched the American version of it.
Yeah.
And then they released a British version of it.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I'll give it a go. I'll look at and it was on BBC Three, but it was only online, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, the online one.
So I watched it and I was like, oh my goodness, that's amazing, and I really got into it. I don't know whether it was the sense of humour of like the British as opposed to the Americans.
A bit different, not as cheesy.
And it was, I don't know, and I really enjoyed it, to be honest. I really enjoyed it.
It's a different craft. It's a side that you look at for myself, who's never even seen stuff like that, and it's just like a completely different craft. I just walk past it every time, and eventually you just start getting hooked. Like, what's that? And you just slowly get drawn into something like that.
Cool.
So it's really, really interesting.
About 20 years ago, myself and Lee, who's the co-owner of MHT as well, myself and him were in Key West, and we were on holiday, and we was walking down the street in Key West, and this show was on, RuPaul.
Yeah.
And we didn't go. We
did-
said,
oh,
we
no.
don't know who that is, we'll go to the bar next door. And we went to the bar next door, which was empty. And
Yeah.
then after this show had finished, everybody came out and went, oh, RuPaul was great. And after that, he then released Don't Go Breaking My Heart with Elton John.
Yeah.
He sat, and it was like, oh, that's who it was. We could have seen him, and we never seen him. We never saw him.
Missed opportunity.
Yeah,
Missed
I know,
opportunity.
I know.
We'll move on to something else as well. You're a fan of Mrs. Brown's Boys?
I am,
I saw him live in Newcastle actually when
Did
he
you?
won his second TV award, and he started off on stage and he walked behind the couch and fell over and he picked up the TV award and he went, who the bleeding hell leaves them there? And he was absolutely funny. It was hilarious. It really
Do you know
was.
what's weird though about that as well? Brendan O'Carroll,
Yeah.
Paul Carroll,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
also Danny LaRue. His surname was Carroll.
Really?
Yeah,
It was
Oh,
destiny.
yeah,
It was
exactly.
destiny.
I was destined for a dress.
It was. You're a fan of Steps?
Yeah,
You must be so excited that they're actually doing a comeback. You know.
Yeah, they are.
See, he's released the song with them.
2021,
Wrote a
isn't
song
it?
for them as well. Yeah. So
Yeah,
you'll be there,
yeah.
will you?
Well, I should have been at the last one,
Yeah.
and I couldn't go. I can't remember why I couldn't go now, but we had front row seats, and in the end, Lee and his friend went.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
and they're on the video. They did a DVD,
They're on
and
the
that
video?
particular night, that was the DVD
when
of
they
the
were
show,
filming.
wherever it was, Manchester or London or somewhere.
Manchester,
Yeah.
London.
And they are on it. You can see them on the front row dancing.
It's clear as day.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
brilliant.
yeah.
And you're also a fan of Tom Daly.
Yeah, we had
Obviously
him.
for his diving skills, is it? Or?
Well, we had him on our final live in lockdown,
Chat
which
show.
Joel arranged because his Tom's best friend
Tonya Couch.
Yeah.
she came to the show and saw the show, and obviously liked Joel on Instagram or whatever it
Instagram
was, and they made, because we obviously had a few celebrities on our we were lucky enough to have some celebrities on our show, which we did live in lockdown, and yeah, we got Tom Daly, and him and his husband were the last guests.
That's brilliant.
That was our final one, and it was great. Yeah,
That's
it was
a great
lovely.
finale.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
Really
It's,
good.
it's still
Yeah.
on Facebook now, and the best part of it wasn't just the interview for me, but Tonya gave us some exercises to do.
yeah.
And, well, let's put it this way, you've never seen a drag queen on this mini golf course do the things that we were doing on that day. It was fabulous.
Well, we were still in lockdown at the time, obviously, and we weren't open.
Yeah.
And we got some funny looks from the neighbours here in the apartments at the back here. We're like in full drag on hole number
On the
9
golf
or
course is in
whatever,
full drag.
yeah. And it's on our YouTube channel, and it's still on our Facebook as
Where
well.
do we find your YouTube channel? What is your YouTube channel?
Live in MHT Live.
MHT live shows.
Yeah,
MHT live shows.
Yeah, MHT live shows. But it's on our Facebook anyway. If you go into videos,
Yeah.
all the lockdown shows are there. They're like nearly an hour long, each one of them.
Ah, brilliant. And then that brings us on to Joel.
Here
The
we
man
go.
that does everything. Bring yourself a bit closer, Joel, so we can
Here
see,
we go.
see what's going from here. Let me have a look from here. Don't look at it, but you are the regional cast manager of Music Hall Tavern.
Yes.
That's what's written down on your profile.
On my job list.
Yes. You put a bio in there. Do you know you have a life bio? Did you know
did
you
I?
actually have a life bio? It says, a life bio is what you make of it. Never be afraid to live life. Make each day count. Never look back.
Yeah,
Do you still live with that?
absolutely.
You still live it?
Yeah,
Follow
yeah,
it?
absolutely.
You've got 999 friends on Facebook. Who is going to be the 1000th, Joel?
Well, and I might
I'll defriend you. Join again.
I actually had a Facebook call as well during lockdown.
Did you?
Yeah.
And you called them all?
Well, it was people that used to follow me on my personal Facebook for the shows when I was back in the UK, and I just pushed them onto the page.
Right.
So, yeah.
999. That's where you're at, sir. 999.
No.
I know.
Add me.
You studied travel at Banbury School.
Yes.
You did that, and
boys.
you're from Banbury, yeah?
Yeah, Oxfordshire.
You've been a drag artist since 2008.
Yeah.
It says on your profile.
I was
12
just
years?
just turned 18.
Just turned 18 from
Think
there.
so, yeah.
Former store manager of Age UK.
I was.
I bet you found some great outfits in there.
Well, yeah,
You still got them.
yeah, I still go with them.
Get off, love, that's mine.
What's funny? What the best thing is, I applied for MHT to come and work for Paul the second time round.
Yeah.
I applied and I made the application while I was sorting through bags of old granny's pants. I did. True story.
And you've got interests on Facebook, and your interests are men. I think you might need to change that. I think you might
Just been outed. It's just been outed.
Oh, sorry, did nobody know?
No.
Did nobody know?
It was a
Your
cover.
interests
It was a cover up.
Men.
You've got two brothers. You've got Wayne and Lee.
I have.
And you've got a mother called Kirsty.
Yep.
Uncle Daniel.
Yep.
Auntie Gemma.
Yep.
This is the great thing. My two hobbies are organising the annual Banbury Rally and also working with Shire horses.
They haven't been updated, have they?
How's that going in Tenerife for you? How's that working out for you in Tenerife? How's the Banbury show going?
Yeah, fucking
People in
hell.
Banbury, if anybody from Banbury's listening, just let me know how the show's going.
Well, it hasn't this year. Yeah, no. In the UK, I used to do completely side away from this. Banbury's, it's all farming.
Yes.
So it was farming. My family's a farming background, and we had 8 Shire horses.
Right.
And I still had them up to the year that I moved up.
8 Shire horses. They're massive, aren't
Yeah,
they?
20 hands.
My God. My daughter, she's the horse, she's into all the horse riding and stuff like that, so I've got a bit of an idea, but they are huge,
They're
aren't
the
they?
big boys. I only ever deal with the big boys.
Only ever deal with the big boys. Very good. I think we'll just go for a pause on that one, actually.
Yeah.
Right, as mentioned earlier, we're down at Vivo MHT. Vivo is the golf entertainment, daytime entertainment stuff. I'm an ex-professional golfer, been there for 15 years, been there, done it, worn that T-shirt. Don't need to talk about golf. I want to know, drag. Why drag? Come on, a little bit of explanation from this then. It's got to be, just if we can just highlight a little bit, just explain something. Where did all that come from?
Personally, for me, it was a mistake. It was a mistake.
A mistake?
Yeah. I was actually a karaoke host as a man in a bar. And in the UK, drag was predominantly when I was started, which was when I was 18. It was the gay bars, that's how it was. However, there's also a massive circuit of working men's clubs, of the social clubs. And if you go back in history, that's where a lot of it is. And for me, the one thing I say about drag is it takes you into a different world.
It takes us, yeah.
And it does. Obviously, like now I'm Joel, but I'm a different character when I'm on stage.
And your character is?
Shona,
yeah. I've seen Shona on some of the videos that's been done from there.
So for me, it's an escapism.
Yeah.
If you asked me to perform as a man, I never could.
Okay.
I could not do what I do. And it's been a new skill for me hosting some of the live act fests, but even just in the DJ box as a man. And we always make the joke, I'm like the X Factor voice in the box, but I couldn't be on stage and doing it.
You couldn't be on stage? You find that strange?
Yeah. But that's me.
And what about yourself, Paul?
It was. I wouldn't say it was a mistake.
Yeah.
It was something that we did just to try and put ourselves into a business, really. Because we originally, like 20 odd years ago, when we originally went to Lanzarote, we got the chance of a bar, and it was like, well, what can we do that's different?
Yeah.
And that's what happened. That's why we did it. We did it because it was different. There wasn't a drag bar in Lanzarote, and that's what we did. We opened the bar, and originally what happened was when we got this bar, we put acts on, and we wanted, like Joel just said about the working men's club, because my background was the working men's clubs in the north and
so you were working
northwest.
men's clubs in the north as well?
Yeah, but singing, not in drag, singing as a guy. And basically we decided that we would open like a working men's club in Lanzarote, and we put 3 acts on a night, and it was doing okay, but it wasn't doing great. Do you know
so
what I
it
mean?
started in Lanzarote?
It started in Lanzarote,
okay.
Music Hall Tavern, that's what we did.
Yeah.
We got the name from Joe Longthorne's Music Hall Tavern in Blackpool.
Yeah.
The building's still there, it's still got Music Hall Tavern on it.
Yeah, I've seen
Obviously
that.
Joe Longthorne's not there, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And we said, right, let's do this. It wasn't working, and basically what we would do is I would go out and do a show somewhere, come back to the bar and give the wages that I'd just earned to the guys or the girls that had just been on stage, pay them, and it just wasn't working at all. So we decided that it would either be make or break, and we did a drag show. We myself and Lee decided to get dragged up, and we got 3 puppets, and we advertised the Spice Girls, and we would obviously the two Spice Girls with 3 puppets, and that's where it all started. And we said that if it didn't work, we would literally give the keys back and take all the booze out of the bar and take it back to our apartment and drink it. Nothing lost.
Yeah.
Obviously, 25 years later.
And that was 25 years ago that happened?
Yeah.
Wow. And can I ask how long MHT's now been on Tenerife then?
8 years.
It's been here on 8 years.
Yeah,
have you been with them for 8 years since the start?
No, I've been here for 5 years since Paul got MHT at Vivo, so the new second home, the second full-time venue.
Yeah.
So I've been here 5 years, coming on 6.
Brilliant. And then 8 years ago, when you decided then to go from Lanzarote, you said, look, I'm going to go over to Tenerife to try it.
Yeah, but we originally, like 10 years ago, we expanded into Fuerteventura. The following year, we expanded into Gran Canaria,
right.
And then we expanded into Tenerife.
That's an incredible story. Once again, thank you very much. We're down at Vivo. We've got the owner, Paul, and we've got the man that does everything, Joel. Absolutely brilliant. So we're saying this is where you've been based now as MHT for the last 6 years. You've been here, and everything was going on hunky-dory. You're building a business, you're entertaining the tourists. They're coming in, and it's getting more and more successful as you see it, and it starts to come more and more into prominence. And then the lockdown hit. About right? We're about right with that?
Yeah. The lockdown hit.
Yeah, the lockdown hit. And obviously, the next thing you know, you were open. The next thing you were closed. Everybody went on ERTE. Everybody went out. Unfortunately, everybody down tools, and they just then had to, like we had to, and we got into lockdown. You guys decided in the lockdown earlier on to actually get yourself up and running or doing what you could, entertaining stuff, because you're entertainers at heart, to try and entertain the people whilst you're in the lockdown. What is it sort of things that you did?
Well, originally, we decided to do a chat show.
A chat show?
Yeah, we decided to do a chat show, and basically we bought some software and we did it was like a Loose Women sort of thing where we had like the four of us on the screen. And we remotely came in because obviously we weren't allowed to go to anybody's house or anything.
Yeah.
So we remotely did it via this program, and we just all had a chat about different things and got people like on our MHT page and stuff to send us videos and TikToks and stuff, and it was good.
Was that attracting many people?
Yeah, it was actually.
Yeah, getting a few people.
I think we were getting about 10,000 viewers per episode.
That's brilliant. And you're doing that on a weekly basis?
Yeah, did we do a week?
Yes,
I
it
can't
was
remember.
7. We did 7 weeks.
7 weeks of it.
It was a bit of a blur.
I think
we did.
I think the thing is obviously during lockdown, a lot of the acts, which I've taken my hat off to, were doing like the lives and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Which is great, but that wouldn't be what MHT is. And Paul said he wanted to do something different. And when he came up with this idea, I remember getting the call. I was sat there with Mum at home, obviously.
Yeah.
And he went, I'm going to send you a link. I want to try something. And he'd already done the credits and everything. And he was like, what do you
So
think?
you're the technical genius?
Yeah.
Ah, right, okay.
Yeah, all
Very
on
good.
one of them.
Are you doing it all on this?
Yeah, same as you.
Oh, we'll have a chat later. We'll definitely have a chat later.
Yeah.
We'll work some stuff out from there.
And it just evolved, didn't it? And then we got
Yeah.
the celebs in and stuff. And it was really, really good. And some of the comments, it was like, people did look forward to seeing it.
Yeah.
Just because it was different. I mean, you can only watch so many catch-ups on the boxes.
I found that with myself, with Shelley, when she was going live on a Sunday. We decided to do a Sunday at 2 o'clock, or she decided to do Sunday at 2 o'clock. And a lot of the comments were, you're making our week. You know, you're there for us. I mean, I was doing the quiz on a Wednesday with TikToks and everything. It was just like, thank God you guys are there. And the amount of gin she got at the end of it was absolutely. She could sink a battleship with the amount of bottles of gin she's got. She's still going. That's ridiculous. But it's some things like you guys that were doing, like your followers then was obviously most probably feeling the same thing. It was like for you guys, for your followers of MHT, you could have been a lifeline for a lot of people in that sort of time, and that must have been a great comfort for you as well.
It was great, and also it kept us there as well. Do you know what I mean? It kept us with. People had a connection with us because there were so many people that come out year after year and they come to the shows and they lost that. They didn't have that.
Yeah.
You know, and also for the last sort of like 7 years since 2013, we've been touring the UK as well.
Yeah.
So they've either been able to see us there or they've been able to see us here. Well, with lockdown, nobody could see us anywhere.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, it was a bit weird getting dressed up and sitting in your house
In front of a camera phone or something, was it?
do you know what I mean? With like the cat swinging off your back and stuff like that. But it was. Do you know what? We looked forward to it as well.
Yeah, so it kept you guys sane as well.
It did, yeah, and it was. You know, it was hard work actually. It was hard work.
It was hard work.
You know, researching stuff, a bit like yourself, really.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? But we enjoyed it, and it gave us a window to the world, and it gave people something to look forward to on a Friday night.
Yeah.
So it's on a Friday night you did
Yeah,
it?
we did it on a Friday night, and then
Was there much alcohol involved?
No, there wasn't.
No, I bet for the viewers they might have been.
I think for the there
I think
was.
the viewers there was, yeah.
And what was really nice is as it went on, we started to get the viewers sending in like the pictures of them from the last week and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never seen myself on 42-inch before, so it was but it was no.
That's a great double entendre, by the way.
But no, I think it was great what we did there, and then obviously it evolved.
And we did the live shows.
Yeah, explain a little bit more about the live shows that you
We
did.
did the live shows from the bar here. You
Yeah.
know, when we were allowed to get out.
Yeah.
After we were allowed out for an hour's walk.
Oh yeah, do you remember them days?
Do you remember? And then it evolved, didn't it? And then we were allowed to come out, and we had like passes to come down to work. You know.
Yeah.
And then we like closed all the curtains because we were a bit scared really at first. It was like, you know.
What happens if somebody knocks on the door?
Yeah, because the venue wasn't open, the golf wasn't open.
Yeah.
So, and all you could hear was that owl go like wooing. Do you remember the owl?
Yeah.
I mean, you can't hear it now because obviously there's people around, but
Yeah.
it was just so dead here, you know. But we had the owl, and then we'd sort of like be in there, and we closed the curtains, and luckily enough there wasn't a lot of sound because it was obviously through the video,
Yeah.
so it was like we was okay.
And again, it was something something different of another level for all of us, streaming a show.
Yeah.
And we're not talking a 20-minute. We promised if we were going to do anything live, it had to be what we did,
It's
and
the
we give
professional-
the full production.
It was again with I go back with Shelley because it's the own experiences. On the Sundays, she was hitting sometimes at that moment in time. She was hitting 300 people. That moment, it stretched to 12,000. I think the biggest one she had was 25,000. And it's like, but she's on her own in front of a camera, just like you guys are on your own in front of this camera. And then it's weird to know who behind it is actually going to be watching it and see who come back for you from there.
Yeah.
It was. The first one was weird. The second one we got into it. The first one was weird because it was all the little things, and anyone that's seen MHT will know what I mean on this. It's those small interactions that, to be honest, we forget about. And even now, when we've started doing proper shows, there are certain things that we come off stage on Saturday night. I know I did, and gone, I forgot that normally I used to do this. And which you can't. It's just amending to it. So
The new normal.
yeah.
Oh, that new word, those two words, the new normal.
normal.
It's tremendous. So the first time that the actual name Vivo and your name, Paul, came across my radar was when Shelley and Hayley had decided themselves to create a show. And they'd already done one up in Shiofa, and it was a great success. And they were actually looking for a second venue, but more closer to town. And I think you guys, being friendly with Hayley Butler, is that right? Came up with this idea, and you very, very kindly offered us your theatre for Shelley and Hayley to put this show on. It went down a storm. And then from there, I started to hear about Live Act Fest. And this is what I wanted to really get to, because you presume most businesses would go, right, this is our business model, this is what we do. COVID's hit. COVID's getting a little bit over it. Let's get back to our business model. But you've actually decided you've diversified a little bit more, and I think that's the most, for me. I think that's the clever thing about it. Can you just explain where that idea came from?
Originally, as you said, we was out for an evening, and we were having a walk actually around Shiofa, and the Shiofa Country Club is where obviously Shelley and Hayley did that show.
Yeah.
And that particular night, we walked in to see Jason and his wife, because we used to frequent there before lockdown. We used to frequent Shiofa Country Club. My family stayed there on holiday and stuff, and they always had entertainment on. So it was nice to just be able to walk from our house to go around there. This particular night, we was walking, and as we came round into the square where the bar is, we heard that there was a show on. Yeah. Jason then came out to say hello to us, and he said, "Oh, we've got a great show on." He told me the concept of the show, and I was like, "Wow, that's amazing! That's amazing!" You know, the concept, and the concept was, as you know, the concept was that the girls did the show. They charged their tickets. They got 100% of the money as the artist. It gave the bar life. They were able to then give people work and also take more money over the bar. Yeah. I thought about that, and me being me, I wanted to make something out of it. And I thought this will help a lot of people, you know, in our industry.
I just want to interrupt on that. One of the things that amazes me about it, and we'll carry on with the story of the Live Act Fest, is right at that moment when you saw it and you thought that's amazing, a lot of business owners, or people in business are profit orientated, will be maybe even to be a little bit greedy and go, great idea, I'll do it a little bit differently, I'll get the girls in, I'll give them I'll give them a wage, and then but for you to think that is an opportunity where it helps everybody, I think that's the main reason why I wanted to come down and speak to you guys, because it is, we know where we're in Tenerife, we know the situation we're in all at this moment in time. I think the lifeline that you guys have given to the entertainment industry down here in the south of the island, I think has been absolutely phenomenal. I think if me and Daz were here normally, hello Daz, if you're still watching, we'd normally give you a round of applause and say, that's absolutely brilliant for both of you, it really is, it's been fantastic. So you got that idea, you've come down here, and then, how did that then progress for yourself?
Well, the thing was, I looked at it, I analysed the deal, I analysed what it could do for everybody. Yeah. You know, I'm not a greedy person, I've never been a greedy person, and anybody that knows me, they know that I will do whatever I can to help other people. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Sometimes losing out for myself, you know what I mean?
Cost of yourself, yeah.
Yeah, it's true, but, you know, sometimes you win things, sometimes you lose, you know. But the thing was that when I looked at it, I actually sent Jason a message a direct message. I can't remember whether it's WhatsApp or Messenger. But I said to Jason, Jason, your idea up a country club is amazing. I would love to be able to do this at Vivo, but I would like to make something more of it.
Yeah.
You know, to give the acts, the arts industry.
Yeah.
You know, everybody's doing nothing. If I can do it down at Vivo, my idea was that the acts do it the way they did it, as you can read it on vivotenerife.com.
Yeah.
You can see the Act Fest and you can see what I wrote about the reasons why we did this.
Yeah.
It was for the acts to give them a lifeline. It got me able to open my venue, which broke my heart every time I walked into it.
I can only imagine.
And just saw it, you know, dead doing nothing. It turned into a dressing room, really, hadn't it? Because we used the opportunity to go through all the years worth of outfits and everything, which Joel really had a good rummage through, didn't he? I bet
you had a field day, Joel.
He did, yeah. He felt like he was back at the shop again.
You're back at the old age pensioners shop.
Yeah, just a bit more sequence.
I was able to get some of my staff off Ertes, you know, and it was great. Everything was great. We were getting the shows booked in, like yourselves, and then, you know, we got the Spice Girls and the Gaga show.
It's breathed a life into the south part of the island, really, without a shadow of a doubt. And to get, I mean, I mentioned earlier before you guys were here, is that the public, the pool that we're actually fishing in is just residents, really. I mean, it's very small tourists that you mentioned before, but it's the residents, and to keep them interested, to keep them coming back. I think everybody's had to up the game. I think, you know, what you say, I was lucky enough to speak to Katie J, who's Lady Gaga on last show, and the professionalism that she's putting into the shows, and then the Spice Girls that are going on as well, which is that's just going on to a different. I don't want to zig but they just want to go onto a different level with that, and they're doing it's absolutely fantastic. It's amazing to see, but this wouldn't be possible without you.
It wouldn't be possible without me. It wouldn't be possible without the venue. It wouldn't be possible it wouldn't be possible without everybody. Do you know what I mean? Because as you said, everybody is putting everything they can into it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, like Joel. You know, Joel
does everything.
Well, yeah. Have we not said that? But the thing is, it's, you know, Joel's doing stuff that he's never done before. He's loving it. I'm doing stuff I've never done before. I'm loving it. You know, and also that what I said was from the beginning, to make it work, because all these acts do the circuit.
Yeah.
They do their shows in every other bar of the island.
Yeah.
Obviously they do. But I said from the beginning, if you want to make it work, you have to do something different.
Yeah.
You either have to add people into your show, do stuff that you don't do anywhere else, you know, do a production, whatever. The venue's there, and everybody who's done the venue has just been
they've loved it. Absolutely
in
loved
love
it.
with it.
It's been fantastic.
You know, for any of you that's been to Vivo's, you'll know that it's like a little mini theatre.
Yeah, we'll put some shots up of it later as well from it now. But it's an amazing place. If you're on the island living in here, we're at the end of September 2020 at the moment, and you're wondering what to do, just go on the website. What was that website again, Paul?
Vivotenerife.com.
And all the list of all the shows are on there as well. And if you're looking for something to do on a Friday, Saturday, but the thing about it is the ticket prices, they're not that expensive either.
No,
you know, they range up to from €10 up to €20, I think, from there. So they're all in. It's something a little bit different.
Yeah.
As I said with Katie last week, Katie Gaga, if I do come on holiday here with a wife and some children, to go and see Gaga for €10 a pop, you know, so €40 for a night out to get some entertainment like that, it's something that you're definitely going to look at doing. And I think the opportunity that you've given to these artists to actually showcase what you said before, they've lifted their game as well. And that's the credit to that. And it could have sold me so differently if that time through Shiofa you would have been a completely different person. And that's really the credit to you guys down here at Vivo, for me, the reason why I wanted to have a chat with you. So thank you very much.
I'll tell you what's been lovely about it as well. It's I mean, as we sit here now, we've got rehearsals going on.
Who's rehearsing at the moment?
Katie's rehearsing with
Legends.
Legends show.
When's that going out? That's in a couple of weeks' time, isn't it?
Yeah.
So they're already rehearsing now?
They're in rehearsals
for it now.
that's brilliant.
And you give them the rehearsal room as well?
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
So and then I think the Spice Girls are in there afterwards. I mean, this is like Phoenix Nights.
Where's your wheelchair, Brian? Come on, Brian, where's that wheelchair? Can you hear me now, Joel?
When we were sat in the office and we were doing all this, and Stuart, our venue manager, came in and he just did it so serious. And his phone went, and he came off the phone and he came back in and he went, I've just been talking to Irish Elvis. I was like, this is Phoenix Nights.
You couldn't preach that, could you?
It was brilliant.
Brilliant.
It was just.
Back at Vivo, as you're fully aware, Paul, and we've also got Joel down here as well. Joel, you just mentioned a good point there when we weren't filming. What was that about?
Yeah, so with Live Act Fest, what it's done as well is it's pushed the acts. It's given them a spark. You know, over lockdown, I'm talking as an actor here, nothing to do with people that put big shows together. I'm talking as an actor myself. We thrive off performing. We thrive off entertaining. And what it's nice to see with Act Fest has done is it's pushed them into different things. You know.
So even they've had to reinvent themselves.
Exactly. Exactly. I mean, you know, the two ladies that I've worked with the most at the moment, Tracy Cutting and Katie J, they're both now putting together shows, which then helps more people. So all it's gone from is something that, you know, you kept saying it's Paul's idea. Paul fact, I just got a call and said, can you do the lighting and sound for it? And that's been great because it's given me something to do. What it's done is from a simple dog walk with Lolo at whatever time of the night, from him seeing that, it's not just enabled Vivo to get open. It's not just enabled the few of us that are able to come back to work. It's enabled the acts, but from that, it's now enabling another group.
So it's been like that was like the catalyst that then creates a lot more from it.
And also, and I know this from working in the UK, I'm sure you do as well, certain times when you got that diary book in, you just kind of went, great, that's that money that week, and you kind of forget about it. But now, some of the actors are having to roll the socks up and go, well, I want to push it as well, because at the end of the day, they push it, they sell it, that's their money at the moment, and at the moment that's important.
You must see the reward on their faces at the end when they fill the venue out, and they're satisfied. I mean, it's not. There's obviously a monetary reward, a financial reward, but actually the satisfaction that they can actually do that. That must have been great. I mean, if we're looking at it in the grand scheme of just going, look, you know, we're here to put the show on as entertainers. Forget the money side of it. The actual to see a full hall must be a great satisfaction for you guys to see. I mean,
yeah, it's. Do you know, the thing is as well, I think that, you know, a lot of us took a lot for granted before lockdown. I think we take life for granted, you know, as people. I think that's changed a lot now, and also for us, we took our venue for granted.
Really?
We go in that venue, we love it, but you go on the same stage with a full room every night, and you do it, and you just get used to it.
Yeah.
But then after lockdown, and when we started doing the live fest, to see, just like what you said, to see these acts that are normally like doing like little bars and stuff that, to do a show, sell tickets for it, and come on to a group of people, a room of people that have paid to see you,
and they want them to succeed.
And they're
that's nice as well. They're not just there having a drink. They're here to, and they want you to succeed.
They're supporting you. They're there. They've bought the ticket to see you. Do you know what I mean? And it's been such a wonderful, wonderful thing to see. You know, every single person that has done a Live Act Fest show in Vivo's has come off that stage absolutely buzzing.
Brilliant.
It's like they've come off at the Wembley or something.
Here
it is. We've gone backstage, and they're buzzing. They're buzzing. They just. I don't know. It's amazing. It's lovely to see that.
It's fantastic. I mean, it really is. I mean, as I said, I've experienced it myself. I was lucky enough and fortunate enough to be a part of one of the first ones, and it's just to see again, even the face of how Shelley and Hayley were when they finished off their show as well. And it's these people have played it's a lifelong career of it, but even that one moment in that, because the opportunity that you guys gave, I think was really, really good. Live at Fest, has that got a lifespan to it, do you think? Or
definitely.
You think it has? You think that's going to run? Is it going to carry on going through?
I think that you've got the Live Act Fest, and you've got the venues here.
Because I know you're starting back up again. Your MHT shows are starting. I've seen those have been starting again as well. So you guys are getting yourselves fully into your frocks. Getting your acrylics on. Is it, Joel? Is it?
No,
is
not,
it gel?
not for, we just file them down for the zips. But we're getting the faces back on, but
I think it has got a lifeline, and we always evolve. I try to always evolve everything that we have here.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I mean, there's new things that are coming up, sort of like in October as well.
I was going to say, I mean, the plan of the day-to-day, people over in Tenerife, most probably a lot of businesses will be aware, they're working on a day-to-day plan. But for you guys, from what I've seen, I've looked at your websites and stuff like that, there's a longer-term plan from here. Are you looking at a month, or are you looking at further down the line as well?
At the moment, we're looking for a month, but as you and I both know, things can change within a day.
A day,
Do you know what I mean? You know, I do believe that in Gran Canaria they've actually stopped entertainment now.
In Gran Canaria completely?
Yeah.
God.
So hopefully they won't do that here, do you know what I mean? But if they do, well then we'll just have to reinvent again.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? The act will be on the top of the roof and the audience will be in the golf course.
Like you too, remember all them years ago in the black and white video? But the thing, I mean, you've got Sunday lunch at the musicals. I've heard about that. And who's doing that? Is that Dominic James?
Yeah, yeah.
And is that with?
It's produced by Tracy Cutting.
She's about Tracy Cutting. Tracy, I might be coming out for you as well.
Yeah, that's it. That's what you need.
you're next?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
in the hot
she's
seat next.
Is she in already? Apparently she's in already.
Yeah.
Somebody's pointing out.
She's here. She's over
there.
there.
Right, okay.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah. She's here for the Spice Girls.
We'll keep it a quiet thing and see what happens from there. But you've got Sunday lunch at the musicals. That's going to be happening?
Yeah.
From
Sunday, just one day. Just
a one-off show.
We're just doing a one-off show, and it's this Sunday, the 4th of October.
Is that family orientated?
Yeah, totally family. Everything is family orientated, apart
Right.
from the Halloween show we're doing.
Yeah, I'm going to get onto that in a second. Drag brunch. What's that?
That's 2 weeks later. It's an afternoon of drag queen entertainment.
An afternoon of drag queen.
Basically, it's the MHT show in the afternoon.
Yeah, but there we go. It's good.
We'll revolve
Everything
it,
go.
yeah.
Stars Dinner Show.
Stars Dinner Show is a show that we was putting together, produced again by Tracy Cutting,
Right.
so that she's
Definitely.
got a lot to talk about.
Yeah, definitely.
It was something that we was working on before lockdown, and it was due to start. Aimed at a completely different audience than MHT, so we were already putting another show in with MHT. So
Right.
the idea was that Stars was going to be an international show with illusions and dancers, singers,
right, cool.
and everything.
Yeah.
Family show, and of course MHT would just carry on doing like it was doing. We'd already arranged that. They'd already gone into rehearsals. It was all ready to be launched, and then bang,
happened.
We went into lockdown.
So it's like a relaunch of it, really, even though it's never been launched in its first place.
Yeah, so this will be launched. We haven't got a launch date for that yet.
Yeah.
But there will be clippets in the Sunday lunch at the musicals.
Yeah.
There will be parts of the Stars show in there.
Yeah.
Because it's the same cast.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah, it's the same cast.
And that brings us then to the end of October. Whose idea was the Rocky Horror Halloween show?
Tracy's.
Tracy's again. You know the thing about this, Rocky, I get it. I mean, Rocky Horror, I've seen the film. I have never, ever been to the show. Someone on the website is asking the men to get the tights and the suspenders on, is it? The stockings and suspenders on? Tights, there you go. That's typical bloke that I am. The stockings and suspenders on.
Yeah.
Is there enough people on this island, enough men on this island that will get the suspenders on? That's what I want to know.
I think there's enough people here now.
Yeah. You?
Me? No, listen, what stays in that bedroom never comes out the bedroom, Joel, that's for
Shelley's
sure.
told me different.
Well, it'll be going on her show first, I'm afraid, if he does, that's for sure. But listen, how's that going? The idea of the show, is that ready? Is that what's... We know what the Rocky Horror Show is, but give us a bit of a background on that.
Well, basically, we are doing excerpts from the show at the side of the screen. So we will watch, it'll be a movie sing-along like what they do back in the UK theatres.
Yeah.
So we're just deciding at the moment whether to do the old movie or the updated movie.
Right.
I want to do the updated movie. Tracy's currently on the
Joel, what are you after?
I'm on the old.
You're on the old.
So he's on the old. She's on the fence.
I don't think
and
I've
I'm
seen the
on new.
updated one. I don't think I've seen it.
I love the updated one.
Really?
Yeah. But the cult following is for the old
It's always
one.
for the old one, yeah, that's right.
So really we could do with maybe, I don't know, maybe you guys out there, you can just send us a little... do you want the old or the new?
Yeah,
But
just stick on the email, that tenerifepodcast@gmail.com, and we'll find out. I'll send it through to the lads and see what they come up with.
Yeah.
Go from there, see how it goes.
But basically, that's what we're doing on Halloween. So it's a movie sing-along night. So
Yeah.
we are going to be there in our characters, and we'll be doing along with the movie.
I think I'm just gonna struggle driving down the TF1 in suspenders and stockings, just in case I get stopped by the Guardia Civil.
we do
I think
it every week.
my Spanish isn't good enough to actually explain that one to them. Exactly.
Well, there is a car park downstairs. Get changed down there. We'll put a mirror down there for you.
I think that might be mirroring a bit of lippy for everybody down there.
You know we're going to get people going now.
Yeah.
Can we get dressed there,
Can we do the
please?
car park? There'll be like a full makeup wardrobe down there
there will,
underneath the
yeah,
car.
yeah. It can
We
be
can sort
arranged.
that out.
Yeah.
Well, as always, what we try to do with That Tenerife podcast is we always try to keep it just under the hour,
Yep.
because obviously people are out walking the dogs. They don't tend to go that far if they're listening it then, and YouTube, the battery power of phones and stuff like that. We've taken you now up to, from the start all the way up to the end of October. Have you got plans for anything further in your mind about what's going to happen? I mean, you got Christmas around the corners. Is this stuff already coming in the workings from there?
We've got ideas, but like I say, I mean, at the minute, none of us know what's happening, do we? Do you know
No.
what I mean?
But this is again what I want to interrupt on. Sorry about that. It's for me. It's constantly thinking. It's constantly moving forward. That is what the reason for me is why I wanted to come and chat with you guys. And Paul, I know you're the owner and stuff like that, but you're only as good as your team. That's what I was aware in my previous work experience. And the teams, that you've got built around you, the way you guys are driving this forward, it's been commendable to see. For outside looking in, looking at how the entertainment world goes and what's happening, how it's changing. What you were mentioning again off camera there, Joe.
Yeah, I mean, what personally, and I think a lot of us feel this here. What's now happening is we're now seeing that Vivo in the centre of Las Americas is evolving to something that even me, we never thought it would happen. I was there on that last show on the whatever day of March it was. I stood there on that stage, and I was there when Paul had to close that lock. I never thought now we would see how it's evolving, and it's fabulous. And what it will, and obviously there's a lot behind the scenes. I'm very lucky that Paul involves me in that behind the scenes, and it's magical to see and feel. But what it's also magical is to have a drive with old people and new people.
Old people?
No, I don't mean age. I don't mean old people that were involved and new people that have now come on board through different channels and now driving it something different and pulling together.
It must be, in essence, I mean, it's got to be extremely exciting because what you're doing at this moment, you're giving your haul over to somebody else and you're watching them drive it into maybe a different direction that you wanted to go with, but it's actually been a success. That's the reason why we're here. But it must also be an element of nervousness maybe about it as well, apprehension, as well as the excitement. But that's most probably the reason why you guys are doing it, I take it. Is that right?
Yeah. The thing is, like you said, it's all about your team, and I'm lucky enough to have a great team. I've got some wonderful people that unfortunately at the minute are not working because of ERTEs, and obviously because of the way things are at the minute, there are some wonderful people that really want to be involved in all this that can't be because the finances are not there. It's not there. And it is heartbreaking. Even today, I get texts from managers that have been with me for years, and they're just desperate to come back to work.
So if you're a resident of Tenerife, a resident over here, and you're looking for something to do, we can always recommend this. Where do we find this information again? Where would you go and look for this?
Basically, just go on to vivotenerife.com.
On the website vivotenerife.com. I was on there before. Everything's on there. It's actually really well laid out. It just shows everything upcoming, what's happening. I think there's a learn more page button that you click and it takes you on to the next thing and tells you what it is. And you can even book online, I think, from there. And it's a very, very straightforward system for people to do it. But I can only recommend, because you're going to look at shows that are happening down here that you will not see anywhere else on the island. And I think that was the big push. It's not as if this you walk into a bar and they're there, and then you have to pay the next time to go and see them. It is literally something different every single time.
It is, and with Joel's magic, he's been able to, do all the lighting, do all the sound, and give what a production needs. You must be proud to know that that's a part of it. And
yeah, I mean, obviously, for those who have been following on vivotenerife.com would know that last week, with the weekend before, a couple of weeks ago, was the weekend when we had the two newest of productions, which they've exclusively.
That was the big one, wasn't it? That was Spice Girls and Legends. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
I actually, and Paul laughed. I stood in the soundbox pressing play, and I was shaking more with nerves than when I do a live show.
Really?
Yeah. When I was shaking more then from when I first ever took the reins and hosted an MHT show, but I was proud when I stood at the end of the bar and watched it, and Paul come up to me and went, "You've given them the magic with it." And it's so nice to work with people I never thought I'd work with. Some people that we never thought, I'm speaking for me, but vice versa, there's people we never thought we'd work with. And one thing good out of this year, because I try and hold on to one thing, if anything's good, the people that it's brought in at the moment for us to work with and work alongside with is some magical people. And Tenerife is full of so many good people out there.
There's still a lot more to see over here, isn't there? Without a shadow of
sure.
a doubt. Just one final question before I leave. Bamborough City Council have been on,
Oh, really?
and they just want to know if you're going to be doing their show in 2021, if you're still going to be available for their show, because obviously we can't do it in 2020, Joel. We understand that.
They'll need to come here because I think we might be a bit busy by then.
And will you bring the Shire horses with you?
Well, hopefully, if the tourism is back, they can all fly over anyway. So it'll
Banbury
sort us.
City Council, you're welcome. People of Banbury, come over and enjoy it. Listen, guys, once again, thank you very much for having me. Thank you very much for putting up with me here today, and thank you very much for spending your time with me. The place to be is it's Vivo, it's MHT, Music Hall Tavern. You'll find them on the websites. You'll find it all over Facebook. Please come and see it. Please come and support it. It's at the Veronica. It's at the end of the Veronicas on the right hand side as you're coming in from Cristianos, and it is an amazing place. And these guys are putting on a great show. So once again, thank you guys. Paul, it's been a pleasure meeting you. Thanks a lot. Joel, it's been brilliant. Thank you very much, and thank you very much for spending some time with us.
Fab.
Good luck with the future.
Thank you
very much.
The Tenerife Podcast.
Tenerife, adelante.